we're going to review some basic things about fractions and decimals that will make it easier to understand percents. You don't want to just memorize how to work with percents. If you understand them, and they're not that difficult to understand, and if you understand them, things will just make sense. Remember place value? You learned about place value in earlier grades, and you probably just take it for granted now. But remember, you've got the ones place and then the tens place, and 10 times that is the hundreds place, and you take 10 times the place in front to get the next place value. And remember, back when you learned about place value in earlier grades, you had the standard form where it's just the regular way a number is written, like 1,346. And then you could expand that into the place values where the 1 is really 1,000 because it's in the thousands place. The 3 stands for 300. 4 is really a 40 because it's in the tens place. And 6 ones. And now we're reviewing this because this is going to help you understand the decimals and how that relates to percents. Now this is an extension of what you learned in the earlier grades, but it's the same pattern. As you go down from 1, every place value is 10 times the place before it. And as you go up, the place value is divided by 10, the place before it. So 1 divided by 10 is 1/10, and that's the 10th place. You can write it as a fraction or you can write it as a decimal. The place after that is 1/100th, which you can write as a fraction or you write as a decimal. 0.01 is 1/100th. So this is just an extension of the place value, same pattern. You take 10 times to get to the place going up. 10 times 1/100th is 1/10. 10 times that is 1, etc. You know, the same exact pattern holds. And the reason this is important in percents, because 1/100th is 1%. Because percent means out of 100. 1 out of 100 is 1%. Well, in decimal form, 0.01 is how you write 1/100th. So this is 1%. So as far as ways to write numbers go, this is just an extension of what you learned in the lower grades, where the standard form, you can have decimals. You didn't know about decimals when you were in the early grades in elementary school, but once you know about decimals, it follows the same pattern as far as place values go. This is the 4/10ths place. The 4 is in the 1/10th place. The 5 is in the 100th place. So same pattern, base 10, place value. So understanding place value and the place value of decimals will help you convert a number into a percent. For example, the number 1, if you write that, how many hundredths is that? Well, just write it out to the 100th place. 1 is 1.00. And now once you have it in the hundredths, you can convert it to a percent. It's 100%. So 1, and if you think about what you know about percents, that makes sense. When you have one whole thing, you have 100%. To change a fraction, if it's easy to change to 100ths, it's easy to change to a percent. 4/10ths, write that as hundredths. That would be 40 hundredths because we took it times 10 over 10. And once you have it as hundredths, you know the percent, because percent means what is it out of 100. Well, 4 out of 10 is the same as 40 out of 100. And so that is 40%, because percent means out of 100.